Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angryprepper. So today's video, we're going to talk about the smashing and grabbing of food that might be coming. So earlier today, I had a viewer, I guess, or subscriber, sorry, email me about the whole smash and grab, I guess, epidemic that's going on all over the country, right? So a lot of us are staying tuned to what's going on in like Chicago, LA, here in New York. People or groups of people are running into high-end stores and smashing and grabbing. Exactly what it sounds like. They are breaking jewelry cases or ripping bags off the stands, even bags that have the cables through them. They're ripping all of this shit and running out. They did it to Apple earlier this year. They ran in and grabbed whatever they could. A couple guys went into the back and grabbed a bunch of items out of there. So we're seeing this all over the place. Here in New York, there was a couple of cases, but nothing as bad as what we're seeing out west, right? And I think there was even a store in Texas that this happened to. So the subscriber mentions, he goes, we haven't seen anything yet until they start doing it to food. And he made a very good point, and this is why I'm doing the video, because I saw something like that on a smaller scale here in New York, where they were going into the stores and stealing food. Now, they weren't going in droves or groups of people and stealing, but it was like one guy here stealing what he could, another guy here running away with a cart of shit. So now, he's right. Imagine, because you can't eat your clothing and you can't eat your electronics that they're stealing, when the food prices become too much, we're going to see the same thing, but with food. The problem with this here is that when these people were stealing the high-end items, you were meeting less resistance, because people were standing in the stores going, oh shit, and minding their business for the most part, and watching these people grab shit and then run out. Even the security guards weren't trying to stop them. But now if you start doing this with food, you're going to see more people step in, because now you're dealing with people's way to survive, which is food. Now, granted, guys, if you have a farm, if you have a garden, you don't have to worry about a lot of the shit that us city people have to worry about, like where to get our food. Now, I have other alternative means to get my food. Unfortunately, for those means, I have to travel upstate New York. But for those that live here in the city, if the prices get too high, if they can't afford it, if they're like, my daughter got to eat, my son's got to eat, my family's got to eat, you start hearing that shit, you better believe motherfuckers are going to start going into supermarkets and smashing and grabbing what the hell they can, what they can run away with, which is most of it. Supermarkets don't have security guards. Very few do, sorry. And I know here in New York, I've never seen, matter of fact, I've seen one security guard, and that was at 145th Street supermarket on, I think it's 8th Avenue, Frederick Douglass. And they had a security guard in there. I don't know if he's still there, but that was because there are a lot of shoplifters here in New York City. I mean, everywhere. Doesn't matter what high-end store it is, or it's a supermarket or low-end supermarket. There's shoplifters everywhere. So, now imagine when people become desperate. And now you're stealing, I don't know, the last bit of water or the last bit of bread or breadcrumbs or whatever it is, and someone's coming in to run and snatch this shit. Now you're sitting there because that's what you want. Now you got to fight with this guy or this group of people, getting your ass handed to you essentially just to fucking have something to eat for your family. So the problem, again, guys, is electronics you can't eat and there's less resistance. But when it comes to food, you're going to see violence. Not just people coming in and grabbing your shit and then walking out without anybody saying anything. You're going to have patrons, customers step in and handle the shit, because you're not going to take food away from me, especially if I was in there and I was like, it was the last, I don't know, milk, half and half, whatever it is, and they grabbed it. Now you're going to have to get into a fist fight. So this video serves as more of a warning as to what can happen down the line, especially if food is going up in price. Because, guys, the smashing and grabbing throughout the country is going unchecked. There are a lot of cities that are downgrading the crime, or the charges rather, right? So they're making it from a felony to a misdemeanor so that they can do it again. Or a desk appearance ticket, which means you just go in front of a judge, the judge goes guilty, pay a fine or community service or whatever, and then you go about your business. No real time or no real punishment with that. So now that these kids are getting comfortable with stealing all the time, when it comes to food, guys, they're not even going to bat an eyelash. They're just going to do it. So you have to make sure that if we enter that era where they're going to start doing this in supermarkets or Walmarts or Targets, you got to be Johnny on the spot, recognize it, and either A, get out of there, or B, get ready to fight. Those are your two options, right? Or C, stand out of the way and film it. But I'd rather go with B. Fighting is always the better option, because it teaches these fucking little spoiled kids that they can't get away with shit without any consequences. The consequences, unfortunately, for a lot of these kids, if it reaches that level, they're going to get their asses handed to them. Alright guys, so this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching. You can like and subscribe to this channel. You can also follow me on the Angry Truths channel and the Angry Lensman channel. And other than that, guys, thank you for watching.